Hello, my name's Pete and I am a gobshite. I could sit here and tell you that I'm a writer, a performer and an educator, but essentially I am a massive gobshite. In this video, I'm going to be looking at gobshitery, giving my professional reflections on it and looking at some of its personality types, its history and why it's so important to the health of the society that we live in. What do I mean by gobshitery? I mean the skill of being able to use spoken language well and a propensity to use it in ways, places and moments that are considered and often are disruptive. And I'm reclaiming this word from the negative connotations of nonsense and rudeness and untruthfulness, although it may have sadly, it may have elements of that in it. And I'm also using this word self-deprecatingly because I don't want performers to think that they are special, because they're not. They're just shuddering mammals like all of the rest of the brothers and sisters. So, as an educator, I've worked extensively putting spoken word into secondary and primary schools. And one thing that I've noticed is that in any group of 30 kids, you're going to have at least two who are massive gobshites. Spoken word education, we combine creative writing exercises with performance exercises, poetry slam competitions, even chat-up line competitions and rap battles to develop the linguistic capital of gobshitery, to develop the verbal artistry that is not getting developed and rewarded by underlining the poetic device used. And if you think about the class jokers, delivering a successful punchline is quite a complex linguistic act. It's quite a complex act of language. It involves creative use of syntax, grammar, word choice, timing, right? So you're not only playing with language, you're playing with the social conventions of language. You're taking risks with language, and you're taking risks with social intercourse. Now, the current curriculum increasingly is taking away speaking and listening out of schools, and this is dangerous not only for the linguistic health of young people, but also for the health of our democracy. Gobshitery is and always has been right at the centre of democracy. This isn't something I'm pulling out of my arse. This is a very long history, actually. It goes back to ancient Greece. The art of persuasive speech making, rhetoric, is the oldest academic discipline in the European academic tradition. Rhetoric was considered an essential skill for being an informed and articulate citizen that can take part in the public debate, right? So this goes back a very long way. If anybody's interested in this, I actually have a chapter in my book, Stage Invasion, called Poetry, Protest and Political Renewal. It looks at gobshitery and how that plays a role in social movements and why it's important for democracy. Now, authoritative regimes don't like people speaking. They like demagogues. They like people like Trump. They don't want lots of people being articulate and representing their community, telling their story and speaking out against power in an informed and artful way, i.e. being rhetorical. British culture has a long history of repressing gobshitery. The British behavioural straitjacket goes back many, many centuries and has roots in puritanical Protestantism, which evolved into Victorian stiff upper lippedness. There is a long history of stopping people from making a scene. And many non-white British cultural backgrounds that make up these islands come from cultures which can be very easily labelled as gobshites in a negative way. So whether you are culturally, historically, politically, or educationally prevented or repressed in your gobshitery. Know that being a gobshite is an archetypal human character trait. And your gobshitery is essential for the health of verbal artistry and essential for the health of democracy. Language is a weapon of liberation. Don't use it where you're told to. Don't use it in the ways that you're told to. Don't use it in the places that you're told is okay to use it. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel through which you're seeing it so that we can be together again. And if you're watching this on YouTube, press the little bell button so that you hear from me again. Thank you for listening.